Good morning everybody. We are group 7 and I'm Reggie Navarro and I'm here to discuss all about our topic. Our topic is hazards due to improper material handling and storage. The question is, what is improper material handling and storage hazard? Improper material handling and storage hazard are hazards that are involved with improper handling of materials, and this could result in damage to the materials being moved, damage to the facility, and it could lead to the injuries of employees, such as back pains, cuts, or bruises. These hazards depend on the particular activities, equipment, or kinds of materials that are used. The kinds of materials that are used is hazardous or toxic, and some of these equipment are hand tools, forklifts, and etc. Some example of this hazard is falling objects, improperly stocked materials, and various types of equipment. Improper material handling and storage hazard has different types or causes. The first major type or cause is due to equipment. Based on the picture, equipment could lead to hazards because equipment that are not working properly or broken equipment could lead to injuries or death. That is why workers should inspect and perform safety checks on material handling equipment before each use to ensure equipment is in proper working order and is appropriate for material being handled, because broken equipment could lead to cuts or bruises. In the next picture is a vehicle. Mobile equipment also has hazards but are different from a fixed equipment, because a vehicle becomes unbalanced if it is overloaded and it overturns, and this could lead to injury if driver is not wearing proper seatbelt. Next is electric powered equipment also has hazard because this uses electricity to work, and it could lead to injuries such as burns or even death. And it is not the same as that powered by other energy sources. The next type or cause of this hazard is due to handheld materials. Handheld materials are flammable and toxic, and this could lead to hazard because it could lead to devastating effects of exposure such as chemical burns. The next type or cause of this hazard is due to the environment. The environment may contribute to hazards in material handling because they could lead to injuries. Example of this hazard is slips or trips due to the wet or icy surface in the workplace. That is why we should clean the workplace to avoid injuries. Next is material handling equipment used in cramped spaces or populated areas poses significant hazards or injury or property damage. And collision due to myriad species of moving equipment or vehicles could lead to injuries or death. And falls from unguarded dock edges and caught between or under due to crowded staging areas. Next type is training. The lack of training could also lead to hazard. That is why training is also very essential in the workplace, because workers must participate in required training programs so that they will properly learn the proper way or the proper posture to lift items in order to minimize injury. And operators must learn how to use material handling equipment properly and how to plan a safe lift, and they should learn on what could go wrong and how to keep themselves, others, and the property safe. Hand signals are also very important because they are a type of communication that is used in the workplace. They are used as communications to stay out from under loads and away from high loads, and correct raging and arrow purposes that other participants in materials handling operations must know. The next type or cause is due to failure of lift lifting equipment. So based on the picture, failure of lifting equipment is one major class of hazards in material handling because this could lead to strains and sprains from lifting loads improperly or from carrying loads that are either too large or too heavy. That is why we should not force our body in lifting heavy objects. So the next type or cause is due to loads. So a load may shift or tip over that will cause damage to property. Unheavy or unbalanced load could fall and injure employees, especially the head and feet. And cuts and bruises caused by falling materials or falling loads that have been improperly stored or by incorrectly cutting ties or other security devices could also lead to injuries. That is why we should properly stock materials to avoid accidents. So the next type or cause of disaster is due to motion. So material in motion is another type of hazard because things may impact something else and create damage or strike a person and cause injury. The speed and mass of materials and equipment are essential factors of the hazard. So people may be run over or their hands or bodies may be caught, crushed, or pinched as a result of their actions, and it could lead to fractures and bruises. So the pace of flow in the workplace is critical, especially when materials are treated in a variety of ways during a process. Materials will pile up at a particular location unless there is a balanced flow, which may cause people to rush and perform things in an unsafe manner. So the next type or causes, and this is the last type, is planning. So before every task in the workplace, it is also crucial to plan or organize materials handling tasks and train participants and workers about the proper steps on how to do them in order to avoid accidents. And before every task, we must plan ahead and ensure employees that they have personal protective equipment, and this includes safety shoes and hard hats when moving objects that are overhead, and they should use goggles when moving liquids that could pose a splash hazard. That's all. Thank you.